The room went silent before anyone realized why. Cameras were already rolling, red lights blinking like watchful eyes, when Michelle leaned forward and spoke with the kind of authority that didn't expect resistance. Her voice was calm, polished, and final. "Senator Kennedy, you're done here. You can step out." In that instant, it felt as if the air itself had been ordered to move aside for her. Producers shifted uncomfortably. A few staffers froze. And John Kennedy, seated at the far end of the table, didn't move at all. For a moment, it looked like humiliation in real time. The kind people talk about later in replay in slow motion. Kennedy's face remained still, his hands folded loosely, eyes steady. Inside him, though, memories flickered, years of being underestimated, mocked for his accent, dismissed as old-fashioned or out of place. He had learned long ago that power didn't always shout. Sometimes it waited. Michelle adjusted her papers, already turning away, confident the moment was over. She had spent years mastering rooms like this. She knew how to command attention, how to end conversations before they became inconvenient. To her, this was just another interruption handled cleanly. Another voice silenced. But then Kennedy shifted forward, just slightly, enough for the microphone to catch it. "Ma'am," he said quietly. The word cut through the tension like a thin blade. The moderator glanced up, unsure whether to intervene. The control room buzzed with whispered panic. This wasn't on the rundown. Michelle looked back, irritation flashing for just a second before her composure returned. "I've made myself clear," she said. "This segment is moving on." Kennedy nodded, almost respectfully. "I understand," he replied. "I just need 45 seconds. There was something in his tone, not defiance, not anger, but certainty. The kind that comes from knowing you've been here before and survived worse. The countdown clock ticked in the corner of the screen. 40F. And that, Kennedy concluded softly, is why silencing voices doesn't strengthen democracy. It only reveals fear. He glanced at the clock. My 45 seconds are up. Silence followed. Not the awkward kind, but the heavy, unmistakable kind that settles after a truth lands. Michelle didn't speak. She couldn't. For the first time that night, she looked unsure which move came next. The cameras kept rolling. Later, analysts would argue about what had happened. Supporters would cheer. Critics would scoff. Social media would explode into sides and slogans. But in that moment, none of that mattered. What mattered was the reminder playing out live on television that dignity can't be ordered out of a room, and courage doesn't need permission to speak. Kennedy stood, adjusted his jacket, and nodded politely before walking off set. No applause followed him, but something better did: respect. Not from everyone, not forever, but enough to matter. Michelle eventually regained her composure. She always did. Yet the chill of that moment lingered, because power had met principle and discovered it couldn't simply command its way through. And for those watching at home, people who had felt small in big rooms, silenced by louder voices, the message was clear and lasting. You don't need to shout to be heard. You don't need to win every argument. Sometimes, all it takes is standing your ground, speaking your truth, and trusting that even 45 seconds, used well, can change the temperature of an entire room.